Well, let's begin, shall we? Okay, wait, let me just fix my hair. My hair was a mess today. It was like greasy, and I decided to just put hair extensions in because my hair was greasy. Anyway, yeah, just in case that you guys weren't being like, oh, why is her hair longer than usual? I always feel the need to explain to people why my hair is longer than usual if I wear hair extensions, but you know what? It's a right to wear hair extensions if you want, right? Right? Anyway, all right, let's do this. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Coffee and Daydreaming podcast, where dreams come alive and productivity gets a dose of caffeine. I'm your host, Amy, your BFF, encouraging you to live your dreams on your journey of self-love and healing together. So grab your favorite cup of joe, get cozy, and let's dive into today's episode. Yeah, first I'd like to show you guys my mug. This is from my my old podcast, the Unfinished Projects podcast, and you can check it out on my YouTube, my personal YouTube channel. Also, my mugs are available in my Etsy shop. I'll put the link down below if you guys would like to buy a cool mug. I've had this mug for I think 2 years now, and ran it through the dishwasher and it doesn't fade, knock on wood. Today's coffee blend is the BJ's brand, because everything, inflation and all that, and so went to BJ's, got a big old bag from BJ's. It's Wesley Farms Organic Sumatra Estate. Yeah, it's really good. Do you guys find a difference when you drink organic coffee versus regular? My parents say it's all BS. They're like, it's all a scam. And I'm like, no, it's not a scam, guys. I genuinely notice a difference when I drink organic versus regular coffee. Like, for example, and maybe it's a placebo, but it works, guys. When I drink regular when I drink organic coffee, knock on wood, like, I get less heart jitters. So that's enough reason to drink organic coffee. Anyway, all right, let's get into the episode, shall we? So I always like to start off this segment with Dreamer's Delight. And, because I always think Jim Carrey, Michael Jordan, even Abraham Lincoln, they all got great using creative visualization. Okay, Jim Carrey, famous video of him being like, yeah, I wrote a check for myself for whatever. And he's Jim Carrey. Like, I respect it. Like, he came from not much, and yes, I love those stories. So right now we're going to visualize. Let's do a quick little visualization. So right now, inhale and exhale. I want you to imagine you're exactly where you want to be in your career, okay? Who are you with? What's your posture like? What city are you in? Ooh. What are you wearing? What's your hair like? Ooh. Oh, wow. What's your vibe like? Like, I saw myself as relaxed finally. Finally, I arrived at my career goal, and it's weird. I visualized myself and I had relaxed shoulders. That's pretty neat. Yeah, did you guys find anything? Let's take a moment for reflection. What epiphanies came to your mind with that exercise? Okay, cool. All right, guys, so moving on to the other segment, Procrastination Perspiration. Okay, so this segment, let's be real, guys, procrastination is the arch nemesis of productivity. It is, but fear not. I'm going to share with you my downfall for this week with productivity. Yeah, okay. And maybe you could learn something from mine and I could learn something from yours. Comment below yours. Okay, so I would have to say, I've had a lot of productivity demises this week, but I'd have to say the dilemma of survival versus passion, creative passions. Okay, so this month, so I don't know if you guys know, but I just moved from Los Angeles temporarily to Jersey because despite working, full time, I still honestly couldn't afford to live there. Like now we got student loans cranking in. I had to sell my car, 30% interest on my cards that I was just putting groceries. Like I wasn't treating myself to some cute nails, although I love some cute nails, I love cute nails. And I think that's going to be the first thing when I finally figure out abundance is I'm going to just treat myself to some cute nails because it does impact me for creativity for some weird reason. I think like I get a boost of dopamine when I have cute nails, and like if I have pretty colors on my nails, I'm just like, oh yeah. And yeah, anyway, maybe it's just me. Long story short, so my goal is to move back to New York City because it's by my family in Jersey. And, I love Los Angeles. I love California so much. But, it's expensive and all my family's here. So I'm here now. Maybe I can move back to New York down the road. That'd be really cool. LA down the road. But long story short, my short-term goal is to just get myself back to New York City for access to open mics and a lot more of creative outlet stuff. Although New Jersey actually is a well of underground like creative outlets. But I don't have a car because I had to sell my car because inflation. Anyway, taking responsibility, which brings me to I'm hustling for like side hustles. And because I was so stressed about money that I spent my time, I prioritized looking for side hustles this week and last week because you need it to survive, and it's hard. It's stressful for me to even see my future without resources. Time, money creates time, etc. So it brings me to that, like, I think a lot of artists struggle with the need for financial stability. Like, when I'm financially comfortable, everything is good. My relationships with my family, friends, and I'm more creative. I know a lot of like my comedian friends are like, oh, I need to struggle for, content. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe it's just like the feminine energy in me or whatever. No, it's a human need, okay? It's a human need. Shelter, food, and thank goodness, I'm grateful for what I have and all that. But I can't achieve that in New York City for now until I get a side hustle. And so, it does take, I think, an emotional toll on humans who struggle for wanting to live a creative life, but yet needing a second job. And, it takes time away from creative pursuits. Which, do you guys struggle with that? Like, do you guys have any lucrative side hustles that you guys do to make ends meet while pursuing a creative path? Comment below. Some tips. And so, also there's like the pressure to conform, like societal expectations. Like I'll be honest, a lot of my friends, and you cannot compare, but a lot of my friends have, actually, I have a lot of mostly artist friends. We do not have houses, but I do have some friends who own houses. And or even just a one bedroom apartment. Like, wow, you have a one bedroom apartment? Wow, you have your own studio apartment? That's amazing. It's funny. I always laugh how it's like a pipe dream. Like, how is it a pipe dream to just have like a studio apartment these days? Like, anyway, so I think that societal expectations of, and I'll be honest, like I've experienced the need to have things of my own, even just like dating. You know what I mean? Like, I had a roommate situation where I couldn't have guests over, which, I respect that. But also, in dating, I'd be like, oh, hey, I would invite you in, but I can't have guests over. I'd be like, what? That's so weird. And I'm like, I mean, not really. It's not my, I'm paying to rent a bedroom. But, that's the rules. And then I had one boyfriend, he's like, I honestly thought you had like a husband. And I thought to myself, I go, that's fair. That is fair. If I couldn't go over, a person's house I was dating, that'd be a little weird. So it seeps into everything. It's like not having, your basic needs, not being where society feels like you, or not being where I feel like I should be at my age, feels like having an exploded pen in your pocket. The longer you keep it in there, it just seeps deeper and ruins your jeans. That makes no sense. But you guys know what I mean. Like, it just bleeds into other areas, is what I'm saying. It bleeds into, your career. Like, it's hard to be focused when you're so stressed about food and all that. Family life, you get a little snappy, you get a little short with people accidentally. And, yes, we take responsibility for our own actions. So solution, find a second job. Problem, though, is it takes away from working on your creative stuff, which for a lot of creatives, that's our oxygen. So not doing that feels like this, like, panicky. It feels panicky. Like we need to create for creative. So that there is a small dilemma in that. But anyway, so yeah, there's definitely the obstacle of juggling survival versus passion and work-life balance and pursuing art. And there are people who have successfully managed all aspects of their lives. And so, I have to keep in mind that, yeah, anything is possible. Like, we just got to focus on, like, I got to keep my mindset in check a lot. Like, I do a lot of snapping my fingers, I'm like, wait, focus, got this, just constantly pulling self up from the bootstraps, like, and, yeah, we can, we are the creators of our own reality in a sense, but like, that phrase of not everybody has the same 24, or wait, no, it's, oh, everybody has the same 24 hours. No, we don't. We do not have the same 24 hours. And having like comfortable cushion of cash can allow you a lot of resources to purchase other resources, like help. But long story short, if you don't have it, that's it. You can only whine and complain so much. So I had to tell myself, like, that's my new thing, is I'm not even thinking about money now. Like, that's my new thing. You guys can yell at me if I, not yell at me, but laugh at, or whatever, call it out if I accidentally talk about it. And I will. But, anyway, yeah, so my new thing is just keeping my mindset in check, keeping my attitude in check, and just remembering, like, I think coming, I it's almost like you have to create a whole new version of yourself to leave behind the past, in a sense. Like, I really love Joe Dispenza, watching his videos, and he talks about how you have to create a whole new version of yourself, and that's what I'm trying to do, because the old me, like, when I don't have my like basic needs met, it does something instinctually where I'm like a mess. So I'm just like, no, focusing on my attitude, keeping my attitude in check, finding the gifts, and having that growth mentality. So I've been really focusing on that, and it actually has helped me. I think usually, when you get stressed out or get hard on myself, you dip a little low, and it's like, nope, I feel like I caught that football, I intercepted it, and I, just like, no, I'm screaming at myself when I'm like starting to get that poor me syndrome, like, oh, I don't have many assets to my name, and I caught that, intercept it. Like, I'm really focusing on keeping my attitude in check and like intercept it, and like, no, this is the lesson, find the lesson. And anyway, it's helped. It helps. So we got this. And it was funny because I sat down to write jokes, and because I'm trying to get myself back in the habit. When you like were in the habit of writing jokes and then you're not anymore, it's quite challenging to like train yourself to get back into it. So anyway, I sat down to write jokes, and I'm like thinking of topics that I like to make funny of, like things I think that are wrong. Sitting down, and it was all money. It was all like money garbage. And that's when I realized too, I was like, that's the only thing I think about. And I've had, situations where, I had to tell my friends, like, yo, let's not talk about money today, please. And, yeah, I think it feels really good to just be like, you know what? I can take action of what is in my control. I'm not going to let it consume my entire like world at this moment. So as long as I'm taking steps to find solutions, there's no need to dwell or worry. Just like, let's remember everything, it's gonna work out. And I know you realists could be like, no, it doesn't. You know what? It doesn't feel good to like, yeah, it's a level of intelligence to be like, think about the reality of things, but also at a certain point, is it helping? Is it helping panicking and consuming your entire day of the worst that could happen and things that aren't? It's like, no, let's change our attitude and be in the present moment. So anyway, when I was writing my jokes, it reminded me of a time when I did a stand-up show a couple years ago, and all my jokes were about how broke I was, and it actually, the audience members were these beautiful, dolled up people that came out to a comedy show to just forget about their worries and just have a good time. And they definitely, they were out on a Saturday night in Manhattan. Like, they don't care that, I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, no, like, my material's not going to be pleasant for these people. And, my point is, so I'm challenging myself to write jokes not about money. I'm taking a break. I don't want to think about it. And after I decided that, I realized how much I think about it and the fears and all that. And so it feels really awesome to be like, I'm not going to let it consume my brain. And you know what? There's a way out for all of us who are struggling, and success stories do happen. Really amazing success stories do happen. So yeah, just let's just relax, and what if it all turns out great? Anyway, yeah. So anyway, productive day. Hey, welcome to the Coffee and Daydreaming podcast. What's up, productive day? I'm so happy to to see ya. If I don't look at the chat, it's because I'm plowing through this thing, flowing. Hey, what's up? Oh my goodness, we got a crew now. We got a crew for the Coffee and Daydreaming podcast. I'm stoked. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, I'm trying this new thing out where I'm live streaming first to TikTok, the podcast, and then I'll put the better quality camera on YouTube. So, yeah. Anyway, all right, now let's get into today's topic. And today's topic is, okay, I have always had this thought of like, am I just not born with the talent if it doesn't come naturally? I don't think so. I'll tell you why. So I'm realizing, I feel like the process of practice is not taught in so much of, I wish the process of practice was taught in school, because you could apply it to studying. You could apply it to any work ethic. So, a little backstory. I remember I was so lucky to be able to get guitar lessons because my dad is in a country western cover band. And I think often how lucky I was. What a privilege to be able to get guitar lessons when I was 16. I was so lucky. However, I didn't know what a great opportunity that was at 16. I was stoked about it. I was like, yeah, this is so cool. Okay, so I go to guitar lessons and they have, my teacher taught me how to read music. That was the first thing. And I just wanted to jam. I just wanted to rock out, just shred it. But instead, I was reading notes like music. And so there I am, cross buns. And I'm like, man, like, I don't think I'm a natural at this. Like, when really, no, I should have been practicing for an hour a day, in my opinion. I did practice, but I should have took it in my own hands to go outside of the book. I was so afraid of like, I didn't know I could go outside the Hal Leonard lesson 1 book for some reason. Like, I just wasn't as proactive in my guitar growth. I think I was very much like looking for an exact path of like, I was looking for an exact path instead of making my own. So anyway, fast forward, I finally, I know basic chords like, my guitar, so cut to, I know basic chords like E minor, E, A, I don't know, I gotta tune this, C, G, D, D7, some bar chord G's, some bar chord A's, some, what is this, some A5, I know elephants and donkeys grow big ears, basic stuff, but it was just like, when I would play with people, it'd be like, oh wait, I'd be like, why am I not growing? Like, if you know the basic chords at a certain point, I would hope. I was just wondering why for like 10 years or whatever, like, no, like more than that. I was like, wow, I'm just not getting good. And here's the thing. So I thought I just wasn't cut out for it, but long story short, I started to ponder upon YouTube videos about playing a guitar solo, and because I was like, wow, I wish I could do that. And pretty much this one guy was showing, you take the A chord, you find the A note on the string and play the scale of the note, or anyway, that opened up a whole new door. And then I learned about the cage system recently, which I'm trying to figure out, but it blew my mind to the possibilities of guitar. And I was like, whoa, I needed to understand a little bit, for me, music theory. And I love Paul McCartney. He's always like, yeah, I don't know how to read notes. Or I heard him talking. He was like, yeah, especially when I first started, we, only knew a few things. And I just love Paul McCartney so much for that, for being transparent. And so, it opened my eyes. I was like, I'm practicing. It's not that I'm not good, it's just I'm not maximizing my practice sessions. And so, yeah, I signed up so my point is do you have to be born with it to be great at an art? And my opinion is, I think you need to be great at practicing. And everybody has a chance to improve the way they practice. And that's my own point of view. I know there are naysayers to be like, but I always was kind of afraid that, like, if something doesn't come natural, it means that it's not meant for you. And I disagree personally. Just let's self-reflect and see the gaps in how we approach it. So I am, instead of just like picking songs that I like and just playing them alone by myself in my room, I am now incorporating learning additional techniques. So I signed up for, hold on, what is it called? Oh yeah, pick up music. Yeah. Oh, I've been really enjoying that, and I've been learning, technique from that. And step one, in my opinion, of improving your practice is self-reflecting, finding the gaps and the flaws in your practice. Like, where could you improve? Not flaws, but where could you improve? And step two is, think about where you could improve in your practice. So, for example, I know I had to add in a variety to my practice. So instead of just playing my favorite songs, I needed to incorporate structure. So, like, I'm starting now to start my practice by warm up, technique, and then learning something, and then I let myself have fun and play a little bit. And number 3 is find your mental blocks and your fears. So, for example, I think my mental block and fear is that people are so judgy if you play guitar bad. That's what I found. I mean, with any art, people be like so judgy, and it's like, no, they're trying, and they're doing great. And usually person judging doesn't do any art, or isn't doing the art that they judge. Anyway, I think for me, I had a big fear of looking bad playing guitar, because I think the coolest people play guitar, and the coolest people knew guitar, know music. And so I think I saw myself as being bad at it. I was so afraid of being judged for being bad at it, and people being like, who does she think she is? Who does she I was thinking about the other day, my school had a talent show, and the kids would make fun of the kids performing in the talent show. Like, that's just, I look back now and what insecure kids. The kids judging probably just wish that they were up there doing it. Like, it's weird how creativity isn't really, or at least from my experience of like it being fun, it's like almost the fast forward version of the end game of like being the brilliant person. Like I remember when I was doing my guitar lessons, I was like, I just want to jam like Jimi Hendrix. Like I just want to riff. And it's like, hold on. I was future thinking. I think that's a lot of the thing. Like, and that's all ego. That is all ego. Do it for the fun and enjoy. Remember, if you're doing something creative, like we have to layer in the fun. But also, it's not all the like practice isn't always fun. So I think that's a common misconception of like if you're not having fun, then you're not meant for it. It's like, no, if you're not having fun, like you're learning something, your brain's hurting. That's a good thing. So, and yeah, so like step 4 or 5, whatever, I lost count, is like, can you seek mentors or a community that you can join? When I was actively doing stand-up comedy every night, something in me decided to start a writing group. So I posted on Facebook, anybody want to like start a weekly writing group? And a few people joined, and I'm not even kidding. My writing improved so much in that time. And just something about like minds coming together that really was powerful. And then, slowly it stopped, and then my writing habit stopped. So anyway, okay, and and then moving on to 5 or 6, my tip is consistency and patience. So I am kind of a pro at quitting. If I could get paid professionally to quit, I'd be very rich. So I'm not a pro at quitting, but I will say I'm pretty good at it. And I'm not proud of it, but I think it's something I'm now striving towards, is being consistent. Just to talk about what I was talking about earlier in the earlier segment, was the whole, struggling for survival. It does intercept with consistency sometimes, and sometimes you do need to prioritize, a side hustle or a second job to get your needs met, and that's okay, and no shame for that. So be gentle on ourselves, but let's try our best to be consistent and patient with ourselves, because my friend Melanie, who's a comedian, we were talking about consistency, and I was like, yeah, I get it. Like, once I start being like, what's the point? That's when I know, I'm like, I'm a little doomed. But then it's like, no, let's do it for ourselves. It feels sometimes when we are doing something from scratch, something creatively, it feels like nothing. But I tell you, we're layering brick by brick by brick. So the point is to get good, and the point is we will see results soon, and we are improving. So just be patient with yourself, okay? So, yes. And that's the key to improving, is just being consistent and patient. So we got this. And last but not least, we have to celebrate our milestones, okay? So create a practice goal, or sometimes too many goals though can be overwhelming, but just like, I don't know, what if every day, if you celebrate a milestone, like for example, yesterday I was tired, I didn't feel like, I honestly wanted to go to bed, but I said no, like I'm keeping up with my habit of practicing guitar for an hour a day, and I I started playing, and I got into it, and I practiced more than an hour. And so I felt really proud of myself. So, like, give yourself permission to feel proud of yourself. So, yes. Okay. So that was, what am I calling that? Oh, that was the coffee break confession part where we talk about life epiphany topics. Yes. Okay. Anyway, all right. So let's start moving on to our next segment. Do people announce their segments? I don't have a cool editor. When I have a cool editor, I can have like cut-ins, like Dreamers Challenge of my segments, fun music, ding ding, Dreamers Challenge. But until then, I will be announcing it as if I need a switchboard. Anyway, just brainstorming stuff. But yeah, okay, so Dreamers Challenge, this is the segment where I'm going to give you guys a challenge that, like, for your health, something to build towards. So, episode 3, I had the challenge of not checking your phone every day. Guess what? I failed. And here's my demise. So, I failed because I checked my phone for the time. But, like, the moment I checked my phone for the time, I ended up on Instagram, or I end up checking my email, and I think checking my email is like a good thing because it's connected to business. So I think that's a healthy thing, but it's not. It's not, because then I end up on the news, which, the news sometimes can be, good. It's like a good thing to know what's going on in the world. However, I don't have a good relationship with the news. I just refresh. Most normal. You know what? Let's bring back the newspaper, guys. I'm getting a newspaper subscription. All right, yeah. I'm going to take a full detox from the news, and then I'm only going to read the news through the newspaper. Wow, yeah. The newspaper is like the flip phone of phones. No, I love it. Okay, anyway. My point is, I failed the challenge, so I'm going to repeat the challenge. Okay, so for this week again, the Dreamers Challenge is to not check your phone for 1 hour when you wake up. I saw a video from like a neuroscientist, and she said, here's things that I wouldn't do. Here's things I wouldn't do because I'm a neuroscientist and I don't want to hurt my brain. And she said, I'm sorry, I don't know her TikTok name, but she said she would not check her phone for the first hour. And I completely agree. And I heard that a couple different people. So, yeah, I actually feel so much better when I do not check my phone in the beginning of the day. Something about just ruining your day on the phone accidentally just feels disgusting. I feel like a cavity is in my body. I just feel like I'm rotting. So, yeah. All right, guys. So, some affirmations for the theme. Okay. So, today's theme, aligned with Coffee Break Confessions, is practice, is being patient to become great. Develop is I have the chance to get great. I don't know. I don't really like the word great because it's kind of ego-based instead of creative-based. But improvement. Oh. I have the opportunity for improvement. No, greatness is greatness, though. Yeah, all right. We're going with greatness. That's a theme. Okay, so all right, here we go. So some affirmations for patience for greatness. Here we go. Every day is an opportunity to improve. I can choose to do activities that can push me forward every day. I am patient, and I know that results are coming. I am grateful for each day to improve and get better and better. My brain is smarter and smarter. I'm getting smarter and smarter. With muscle memory, by repetition, I have no choice but to get great. I have no choice with muscle memory but to improve. My body improves more and more each day. I am so grateful for another day to improve by working hard and improving. I am like water. I am letting my creativity flow through me and with me. I'm in for the long run. I have so much fun each and every day. I focus on just having fun, and I am improving more and more each day. I'm getting better and better each day, smarter and smarter. Brilliant. All right. Anyway, yeah. Oh, also on this topic, I wanted to show you guys this awesome book. Okay. All right. So this was another thing that inspired me actually to improve my practice was this. Okay. So Steve Vai's guitar workout. So back in high school, my boyfriend was this like amazing guitarist, and yeah, so we were 16 at the time, and this guy, like, whoa, I mean, he was amazing at guitar, so impressive. And he looked up to Steve Vai, and I think back, I was like, wow. I think proof that he was practicing. Like, my boyfriend at the time, he would practice, and he was just obsessed with guitar, and he was obsessed with Steve Vai. So I was like, I think often about what a lucky, not a lucky guy. I mean, at practice, that's an example of like, I mean, but he did have good fingers though. I mean, his fingers were just made for the guitar. But I mean, that's a prime example of work. Is it luck? But he worked for it. But I thought often to emulate his practice habits and who he admired and what did he do differently. I like to, I was thinking about that. I was like, that's a really impressive for, someone in high school to be that great at guitar. So my point is, the common denominator of his greatness was his admiration for amazing guitarist. And so let me read you guys this thing. Okay. So I'm gonna actually this weekend read and highlight and apply this book. But listen to this. So first of all, I absolutely loved. So it says, to start, Vai presents a general philosophy behind his approach to guitar. I could sit here and tell you rule of thumb, try to always play clean, or rule of thumb, think melody, but I wouldn't because, I really don't think there are too many rules of thumb. If you try to do something that somebody else says is a rule of thumb, you might be going against your best judgment. Most of the time, innovation happens when people break the rules. And then he said, a rule of thumb I could offer is never take what anybody tells you as gospel. Music is an art form. It's expression of yourself, and you have to do it the way your inner inclinations guide you. And then he goes on talking about, like, just have fun. And I like that. It's such a great one. Don't, make your own rules, but have fun. But, more importantly, so Vai practiced 10 hours a day, supposedly. And so the first hour was devoted to technical exercises, second to scales, and the third to some chord thing. He repeated these areas 3 times, and devoted the remaining time to sensitivity hour, where he would try to reproduce spoken phrases as passages on the guitar. I love that, because that actually, I think, recall is very important for memorization. So like, because I know I watch so many guitar YouTube videos and stuff, and then it doesn't sink in, but by him doing that, he's recalling. That's how, that's what really helps me. I remember when I used to do acting a lot, like sitting and trying to memorize the lines. What actually worked was taking away the script and trying to remember that way. So I love that. What a unique practice. In addition, the exercises were divided into 3 categories: linear, picking, stretching, and angular. So my point is that paragraph right there says it all about practice. So Steve Vai is amazing and prolific. He worked for it. We would all like to believe that. And I've heard Jimi Hendrix actually, what's that whole thing? He memorized the full album to Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club, right? I think I heard Paul McCartney tell a story on that. But I mean, so maybe Jimi Hendrix the exception, but I wish I knew his practice regimen. But, I think we all think the greats are just great. And it's practice, it's work. 10 hours. And, embrace the obsession. All right, guys. So I just want to close on that. I found that inspiring, and I hope you did. So thank you so much for joining us on this delightful adventure of coffee and daydreaming. Remember, with a cup of coffee in one hand and a heart full of dreams in the other, there's nothing you can't achieve. Keep dreaming, everybody. Oh yeah, so subscribe to the TikTok at Coffee and Daydreaming. Subscribe to the Instagram at Coffee and Daydreaming _. And yeah, the YouTube channel. Please leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts. I'm trying to get this podcast up and going. And trying to think. Yeah, if you want to buy my mug, it's on my Etsy shop, link below. And yeah, all right, you guys are awesome. Bye.